Everyone, and welcome to Crit Happens, the show where a bunch of friends come together to play Dungeons and Dragons. TJ here with some unfortunate news. Through the holiday season, our computer decided it no longer wanted to function normally, leaving us with the situation we're in now: audio files with no video. In this technical difficulty, we also lost the audio for episode 10 of Arcana Forbidden, titled New Friends. So, instead, I'm happy to present with the following additional recap of the episode. We began as the party woke up in the Shifty Settlers Tavern after resting from their intense battle with the Illithids and Shivari. The party started their day by splitting up to pick up last-minute items and visit orphan friends one last time before they met with the right hand of King Hasatan, Atlan Bravis. Atlan introduced the party to his nephew Yrlakk Tagorvik, who would be placed in the party as they fulfilled the job he was assigning them, to deliver a cart of goods to the Underdark community of Dzanth. Yrlakk, a green Githzerai warlock dressed in red and black robes featuring a gold talisman and large shoulder pieces, is played by our friend Dalton. After collecting the cart full of goods and the nephew of Atlan, the party set out for Dzanth, traveling towards Facet and completely avoiding Clifton at all costs. Throughout the journey, the party questioned the motives and loyalty of Yrlakk, granting him the nickname Narc, despite his insistence that he's only loyal to himself and not to his uncle. Along this journey, the party came across the traveling Tankard Tavern and decided to stop in for some rest and drinks. Seeing no familiar faces, the party felt drawn to a table where a shifty-looking individual sat. The person was discovered to be a wide-hipped red and black warforged, donning a yellow beanie, ripped jeans, and two holstered revolvers. They introduced themselves as Vulcan, a rogue warforged avoiding the eye of King Hasatan at all costs and trusting nearly no one. Vulcan is played by another of our friends, Ryan. The party then began to question the Warforged and try to learn more about his motives and what his intentions may be. Just as Vulcan began to see that he may be able to trust these people, Theron bursted into the tavern, exclaiming that there were bandits climbing into the carts and trying to break the crates of goods. That is where we left off for episode 10. And now, please forgive us for this technical difficulty and enjoy episode 11. Welcome to Dzanth. Hello and welcome to Crit Happens, a show where a group of gremlins come together to play Dungeons and Dragons. Once again, my name is TJ and I'll be serving as our dungeon master of this table of actual stupidity. Now, it is my pleasure to welcome everyone back to Albastia.
Excuse me, Chester.
Already with Chester.
Is giving me cheese banana.
Last week, we picked up as the party woke up in the Shifty Settlers Tavern. After some breakfast, a bit of conversation, and some shopping, you made way for the Citadel to meet with Atlan, who explained the details for the job, as well as introduced you to his nephew Yrlakk, who he explained would be joining the party for this job. You then made way for Dzanth by way of avoiding Clifton, where you got the opportunity to get to know each other a bit better and go to the Traveling Tankard Tavern again. It's in this tavern that you met the Warforged Vulcan, who is still cryptic, eerie, and maybe Texan. As you all are beginning to get to know Vulcan and the conversation begins to actually get interesting, Theron comes up and rudely interrupts to show you all that there are currently 6 people climbing onto your carts. What would you all like to do?
Run up on him.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Get off stage and run up on him.
Yeah.
Swing Charles at them.
So you're just gonna run up and attack him?
Yeah.
Alright, that's an option. Let's go ahead and roll initiative.
Really?
Not yet, they're climbing onto it.
Nice.
I have to change the music.
That means they're stealing.
For initiative. That's upside down. 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 Up. Down. 16. Yrlakk.
20.
Damn.
Natural?
I rolled a 19.
Chuck.
Nat 20.
For a total of? Oh, 20.
18.
Vulcan.
7.
That tracks. Wulf.
6.
Also kind of tracks. Aaron is a 10. He's the only 10 you see. All right. For the initiative order, we will have Chuck, Yrlakk, Lily, Rauva, Bandits, Aaron, Vulcan, and Wulf.
Ow.
So, currently there are 3 bandits climbing onto each cart. You have one that's under the back of the covered wagon. One that is currently trying to begin to climb onto the back of the uncovered wagon. One that's going to the front seat of each, and then one that is currently on the side dealing with the horses. So Chuck, you're up.
Firebolt.
Which one?
The first bandit. The one that's on top of the cart.
Of the covered or uncovered?
Uncovered.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll with that.
9.
Misses. Goes wide. Flies out into the woods.
That's fun. I will try to catch our firebolt.
No.
Let's go with Dragon Bolt.
What kind of damage would you like to deal for that?
Cinema? Fire?
Fire? Alright. Alright. So that will be a dexterity save for them.
Mhm.
Nope. He fails.
Alright.
So go ahead and roll your full 3d6.
12.
The one on top of the cart in the back gets hit with this fiery wall from Chuck and falls over, burning to a crisp.
Meanwhile, I'm like, did that?
Brings us to your turn.
So I'm gonna use Wishbolt.
Okay.
It's on top of the covered wagon.
Alright. I think you have to roll your attack.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 16.
That'll hit. Alrighty.
Oh, and then I have to add the hit, right? Or do I?
Whatever it says you add to it, let's add to it.
Oh, so 7.
So let's see. Okay. 7. Okay. Do you have a bonus action?
I do.
So you're not going to cast Hex yet?
No.
Okay.
I already cast.
Sweet. Alrighty. That'll bring us to. We're done, Lily. And that puts Rauva on deck.
How many are left?
5.
Okay.
The one in the back of the covered wagon looks pretty hurt.
Are any of them trying to take control of the reins on the,
There's one on each cart.
on top of the, in the seats?
Yep.
Okay. Well, since you're secretary, I suppose gonna grab onto the and sacred flame. Guy sitting on the
Want to roll your attack? Okay, thank you. Fail.
Sick. Gonna be 8 damage.
Alright.
Radiant.
Okay.
Okay. And from a bonus action, I'm gonna protect the squishies. I'm gonna cast Shield of Face on them. What does that do? It gives you +2 to your AC.
Alrighty. That'll bring us to Rauva.
First, I'm gonna use my bonus action to cast Battle Blade.
Yep.
I'm just gonna might use that yet, but then I'm gonna they cast Thunder Wave at the one on the uncovered card. So they have to make a Constitution saving.
At the driver. The 17. So the one that's trying to drive the uncovered cart gets hit with this thunder damage. You watch them fly off and hit the ground next to it, dead.
Yeah.
So there's still the bandit that was on the outside of that cart is now beginning to climb into the back. The one that was watching the outside of the covered cart has begun walking back to the uncovered cart, and there's still one trying to drive the uncovered cart. So there are 4 left.
There's one trying to drive the covered cart.
Yeah. So that brings us to the bandits, the last 4. One of them is going to draw his crossbow and he's going to point it at Chuck.
Oh. No, protect me.
That's a natural 20.
Oh! Okay. Oh, tell me.
Charles,
So 16 points of piercing.
Oh, even goes through points. I'm at 10 hit points. His max is 26.
These are bandits. Don't hit me with that. We're level 4. These are bandits. You having low hit points because you rolled low hit points.
I know. That's what I was pissed about. Like,
And that was the one that was trying to walk back onto the back of the uncovered. The one that's driving the other car is going to point at you and take a shot. 17. It's going to be 9 points of piercing damage.
Oh my god! And I'm gonna use my reaction. I'll be like, bitch! I'm gonna cast Hellish Rebuke for my reaction. So 7 points of damage.
Uh-huh. So how much does he take? 3d10? You're gonna roast this guy to death.
Okay, so 60.
You watch as Rauva really, her eyes turn like this deep hot pink as she points towards the bandit that's trying to drive the covered cart. And she calls him at which point he's like, oh! Like blood pours from his eyes and he falls over dead.
Funny
That was pretty funny. Another one's gonna take aim at you. It's a 16.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
It's 5 points of piercing damage. And the last one's gonna take aim at you. 9. No. 11 to hit. Pretty sure this will hit him. On the cross.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
that does. Oh, yeah.
It flies off just past you and hits the side of the building. That'll bring us to Farron. So Farron is going to run up behind, try to hide behind a wheel on the covered wagon. Ooh. Still pretty good for him. And he's going to hop out and try to take a slash at the ankles of the guy that's running past. He watches Farron throws his arms out, and this in one hand a purple illusory blade and a pink illusory blade in the other hand comes out. Now he's going to make an attack with each of them. Oh no, each of them. Sorry, that was wrong. Sorry, one of them. Ooh. He's like, damn. No. And he just misses. He watches it as it runs past and he just whips the air. That'll bring us to Vulcan. There are 3 left.
Are any of them blue?
Yeah, the one that is trying to drive the covered wagon is her. Oh, no, no. The one that was walking inside the walking back.
Can I shoot one of the healthy ones?
You can. Yeah, right now there's one in the back. Well, actually, at this point, two in the back of the covered wagon. One of them has just reached up and punched down into one of the boxes and busted it open.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna shoot. I'm gonna try to shoot that guy. With my,
Okay, roll an attack.
cool.
That'll hit.
He's 6 damage, 6 piercing. And then I would make my action to shoot.
You can. With your possibilities.
Roll the natural.
Hey, double your dice.
Oh, really?
You roll double dice.
Oh, I don't think I had my modifier for it. Do I for
For one of the die.
the 2-weapon fighting said you don't have the modifier.
Oh, then no. You're right. Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, he's dead.
He's got 11 hit points. So yeah. You fire your shot at him, and it goes straight through his head. And he just stops for a second and falls dead right in front of Aaron.
Aaron makes direct eye contact.
He does.
Does he sound like that?
About 15, 20 feet.
I guess I'll run up then.
Yep.
Who's there?
So there's one in the back of a cart and one walking up to the boat.
Are they both going back to the table?
There's one walking up to the uncovered. There's one in the uncovered.
Start out.
Look at this one. Look at this one. No problem. Yeah, you win. So you just like kind of reach up and grab him and throw him out.
Yeah, throw him down on the ground.
Okay.
And then shot
Go ahead and roll your attack
because that's a bonus action.
with advantage because he's on the ground prone.
Okay, so that's 26 to 30.
Healing the world with comedy. If you throw him on the ground and bring your axe up and slice down, like slicing halfway into his gut, you see it coming with the
Man, we're gonna clean these cards.
Very close. So, with one left currently walking up to the car or coming in.
How many are left again?
I'm just gonna
Chaos bolts.
Yeah.
Please, please, please. Screw me. I'll think you're going. 22.
That almost always
2D. I know. 2d8s with acidic. 9.
Okay, so you can use 9 points of damage.
Heal.
Okay, that brings us to Yrlakk.
So I can use my bonus action.
If you'd like to.
You know what? That guy just got. That's okay. So I think I'm just gonna.
He's real hurt.
I think I'm gonna use. I'll use my staff of withering.
Okay.
12.
To hit?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay. So then one.
So you watch as Yrlakk pulls out this wooden staff that has it is wood. Right?
Yeah.
And it has like a withered hand on top.
5. Plus.
Finish him. So describe to us how you'd like to kill him.
Oh yeah, I will step off that, and then I kind of just aim it at him as the clock starts. And bolt appears, purple bolt appears, and shoots it.
He watches this this guy that's like started up the cart and then got hit with your chaos bolt, falls out, begins calling like no, no, and Yrlakk just points the staff and shoots him with purple energy and sort of lets out a small chuckle as you watch him age and then rot and then decompose.
That's what I was gonna say, like rapidly age.
So like
body
in
cam
Indiana Jones,
Yeah.
the Temple of Doom, when they drink from the wrong cup.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
And you guys have killed all 6 of them. Looking around, there doesn't appear to be any more. Your carts are mostly undamaged except for that one crate that was busted open. So, what was your roll again? 12. Walking up, you look in and you see like paper. It doesn't look like it has like food or anything in it. It's a bunch of parchment.
Is there anything on it?
From the way that it's busted open, he literally just punched a hole. You don't see any writing on this piece that you can see directly. If you wanted to open up the crate and look more, you might see something. But right now, from what's available to you, without trying to dig into it, just a piece of paper.
Like a stack of paper?
Maybe.
Or
The rest of you?
If we're gonna look at it.
You're welcome to come up and investigate the cards if you want. Go back in the
Well,
tavern.
I want to say one thing. Let's all have a talk. Because I knew from the start that I knew there was going to be some magic users in this party.
I figure this is probably happening. You probably hear it, but you're not super engaged in it. They're probably like talking outside of the cart, like on the back side of it.
I'm gonna walk around to the driver's seat of the cart because the bandit was still there. He's just dead. I'm gonna pull him down and say, "This is my spot." I took the bear claws.
They're fine. There's one missing.
fuck. So, you gonna rat us out, Fred?
Here's the thing. I came on this expedition for my own reason, and not just to be my uncle's lackey. As much as I am concerned about this party's responsibility, you do seem to. Those who do use magic seem to have magic. Seem to have a lot of potential and know what they're doing. And I, for one, do not think that magic should be hindered from use for everybody but nobody. I think it should. I think everybody who has the opportunity. I don't know that. That's what I.
Okay.
Describe what this is.
I'm just gonna take it off and like stash it in one of the drawer things that they've got on the wagon.
I'm gonna take out my rapier and try to pry it open.
Go ahead and make a dexterity check.
I would.
You're raising it?
Dropped.
Another
Not a
6.
Oh.
18.
So,
Rauva, you sort of like push the rapier into the side and use the massive weight you've got, push down on it, and it snaps the lock open. Make a perception check. Or investigation, I guess. As you look inside of the car, the open crate, it is just parchment paper. There's nothing written on it. It's just paper. Like 4 stacks of paper with a box. Nothing.
Oh, it's
What? food. That's not supplies. What do you know?
I have the ability to be able to, but it's just paper.
There's nothing there.
I knew nothing about it.
As far as you all were told, this was supposed to be food resource.
That's even what I was told. So seems like I'm still being lied to by the old uncle. Nothing new there.
The old.
I mean,
He's gonna be like 70.
He's very old.
Yeah.
I want to loot the dead bodies.
investigation check. Psychopath. Damn it! Hold on.
See which one took it.
Well, two of them are eviscerated, so yeah, you find some pocket lint. One of them had like a worm in his pocket.
Eat it.
It was a grub, so you know, gross.
I think all the boxes just have paper in them.
I was wondering the same thing.
Let's open them up.
As long as the cup is.
I already told you. I'm here for my own.
There ain't no narc.
And honestly, after seeing all the paper in that one crate, I'm.
Okay, so as you all take the time to go around and open the 5 other crates, one of them you find nothing but like hay stuffed in there, making it full. And another you find a bunch of like salts, sugar. And another it's literally full of rocks. And then you find another one full of nothing but paper. The last one is empty. Just has like a folded up note. You're gonna it's like in an envelope, so you have to break the seal. And it's addressed to Thyrzen. Oh. Well, I know our path is taking us to the Underdark. But they don't. Why don't you all get in the other car? Right ahead. Need a moment. With Senjin. Vulcan, will you be joining us?
Worth my while.
I mean, you did just shoot someone through their head.
Shoot people in their head every day.
But
Also-
you got you. Not to interrupt. It had to be more fun with people doing it with you.
Yeah, bear claws.
We won't narc on you.
He does.
He's a robot.
Not a robot.
We got motor oil. Got some motor oil. Maybe some vegetable oil too. Do you eat vegetable oil?
So how you speak in gold, right? We're getting 17,000 supposedly upon our return.
I'm in. Not because of the money.
Me
Just
too.
a puppet boy. He makes me chuckle.
There it is again.
Yay! His name is Chuck. So.
You
Have you want to
said
cheese?
70 first, and then you were like 17.
Yeah, I know today I said 1,700 by accident, and I think that threw me off. All right, I'll catch up in a moment. The rest of you, riding ahead.
I'm leading his horse.
All rides shotgun.
Okay, so let's go. You two at the front. You and Farron's. Well, you are at the front. Farron has his own horse, so he can ride to catch up. In the back, we've got Chuck and Lily and Vulcan. Can I get everyone to make a perception check? Both.
17.
Vulcan. Lily.
21.
Chuck.
22.
Yrlakk.
19.
19.
I'm 19. Everyone except Vulcan. Vulcan's just staring at the.
Now I'm
Currently-
oiling my gun.
Oh! And your limbs.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was talking about these guns.
Oh, yeah. You're oiling wiggling those hips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those baby pink
Child, yeah, my
hips.
childbearing hips.
The rest of you,
Those hips don't lie.
look back and see smoke. Those of you that rolled above a 20, which I think was just you two, see a small flame coming from just off the side of the tavern. Most likely the cart.
I thought we had all the paper here. Are we gonna roll anything up?
Everything is all right.
Well, as you say that, you see a black horse riding up with Farron on top.
So he's like not there yet. You just see him in the distance.
He's riding up towards you. Shall we continue to that?
Yeah.
The card.
We could have sold that.
I don't want the money from his items.
Wait, did you set the card?
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
I did.
Good idea.
Chances are, now that we open it, we're not going to get paid.
Yeah, that's very fair.
So, and he says it was his personal card. So, kind of feels like the right thing to do. Sticks and stones are getting burned. It's ahead. So, for this last leg of travel, first of all, immediately you guys go through these swampy areas of Fawcett. Going through your first thing you notice as you get closer is it's hot and slowly trees begin to become prevalent in these hills. And then the hills turn to plains, into mush, into marsh. And eventually you guys can hear and smell some of the smells and smells and sounds of a city.
Shit.
Also a swamp. So, it is kind of creepy. You do see alligators and some, random creatures that are sort of swimming in the marsh.
Sorry, this.
It's so good! Kevin McLeod! That's all I'm saying. He's a genius. And then you see the barracks come up with an arch entrance. You see several dozen guards out training in this marsh. The guards here are actually, it's military. And they don't wear the same sort of military garb that others in the Empire do, the same red and purple. Down here they wear more purples and greens. And very much thinner, a lot of them wear just a simple tunic rather than an entire armor set. And the type of people here are a lot less, for lack of better terms, white. There's more tabaxi in the army. You see more gnomes because they're shorter. You see some lizard folk, a kobold maybe even. So it's very diverse here. And the people in this army don't immediately stop you or a lot like you might have expected. They seem to be very accepting and understanding until the cart passes and they look in. It's here, red and black warforged.
I was about to ask. Fucking hide.
We even have a thing where you can
Yeah.
lift up the floorboards and sneak under. But
It's looking
I
hot.
think it's fucking legal.
And one of the dragonborns that was in the army. Hold on! Just a moment! You watch a couple of the military from the outside of the barracks come around to the front to try to front off the cart. They
how
both
in
hit
the front are they getting?
Kevin McLeod! As you go through the arch, they are maybe 20 feet off and they're getting close to the front already. As soon as he yelled, "Hold on, stop," they immediately started to go out.
Slow down, at least.
The Dragonborn kind of runs up to you all and comes to the side of the cart where the two of you are. There's now 3 guards with you. And in the back, you all see 4 or 5 looking in the back of the cart. The Dragonborn. So, the Warforged, that yours?
I speak up and I say, this Warforged is actually a particularly interesting specimen. I think I want to make a deception check here.
Sure, go ahead.
14.
Right. Do you own him?
I do. And the reason his colors are the way they are is because he's particularly designed for entertainment.
Is that so?
He's actually off to a little girl's birthday party right now with me and my friends.
What does he do?
Well,
This shows.
he does.
Juggle.
He juggles pistols.
By all means, man, come on out here and show us. You got a whole bunch of... Hey, folks! And you watch as all the dozens of military personnel come group around your car. There's now like 36 guards.
Time to make a performance check, huh?
Stand up, Vulcan steps
Wanna
down
hop
onto the
out?
mud.
Sinks down a little bit.
Yeah, sinks down significantly. He weighs like 300 pounds.
Oh no!
7.
I'm gonna turn to the guard that was standing right next to us and be like, more of a clown.
So you'll watch as... What was your roll without the modifier?
4.
Pretty good charisma.
Okay, true.
Vulcan starts like this angry scowl on his face, throwing his guns in the air, and they just sink into the mud.
And then I'm gonna stop and be like, okay, alright. You guys caught us, that's not my real trick. And then I wanna pull off the almighty trick that I've had up my sleeve, or more specifically up my hat. I'm gonna pick my guns up, and I'm gonna empty them, I'm gonna reload them by shaking my head and having bullets come out of my veins.
So you watch Vulcan dumps the bullets that are currently in his revolvers into his ragged pants pockets, and then goes like starts headbanging, and bullets come fly out and land and fill his revolvers, and he closes them up.
That's the only trick I actually know.
The guards look around a bit.
Little, yeah. Kids love that trick.
Right, I'm just confused.
I'm working on the juggling.
Is the little girl like demented?
Look,
Well,
have you never seen a band of
Have you never
performers
met
before?
an 8-year-old girl? I mean, they're pretty crazy.
and taller than Wulf.
He is a clown!
4'8".
Alright, well, just making sure there wasn't like a rogue. From what I understand, there are currently 2 Warforged out running around, so should you see one,
Well, this one's been in our service for quite some time, so you don't have to worry about it.
just keep it in line. We don't want any raving robots.
No worries.
Keep him in
He's
his place.
So I like to keep up the charade. I kind of like put my hand on Vulcan's back and like push him back in the car.
I'm gonna fucking throw his hand off there.
Hey, stay in line there! Know your place.
How many cards are there?
37.
I'll know my place right now. Shoot this guy in the foot.
It's like in Love Guru. Stay down, bitch!
So are we free to go through then? We're running a bit late.
Please, tell the little girl happy birthday from the King's Guard.
Of course. Be on her way.
And I'll just clap.
So, as you all continue, this roadway that you all were gathered in.
Oh, hold on. Can I fucking
Please.
tell Yrlakk not to be a dickhead? Hey,
There's-
Yrlakk,
there's like a
maybe
pavilion.
next time, can I not be your fucking slave clown? Come up with like a cooler title for me? I don't know.
Any cooler title would have given away your
Bodyguard's pretty cool and also what I'm made for, so... you're like royalty. That would have just made sense.
Yes, that's true. How would it have explained all of these?
You're royalty. I've
It's your posse.
been here for 3 hours. I've been juggle
At least 3 of us are nobility. Like,
Look, what? Are you saying we look like clowns?
Farron from the front. Yes.
What from my appearance makes me look like a clown?
You're fucking pink.
You're freaking gray.
There you go. It's not good.
Did anyone
Just
want to borrow
purple.
Charles?
let's not get racist.
Oh my god, I guess we are like a troop of fucking. Oh no!
Same clown posse.
Charles, why didn't you get out and perform?
Charles was scared. Besides,
What would nobility be doing with a 90-year-old lanky ass man?
Wait,
That's really
hold
what
on,
you tell me.
hold on. Hear me out, guys. Look,
It's-
look. It's just Charles wasn't excited to perform certain things.
Horatio.
No,
Stop.
I've been practicing how to seduce certain characters.
What?
So
If we-
Horatio.
If we ever need again,
Missing on.
thing. Watch, look at the sexy dance that Charles does. Ooh la la, right? Yeah, I think
Is
it's
Charles
pretty.
multiclassing in a bar? Like
Come on.
college of strings?
Okay, maybe we are clowns. But it's still not
I'll
nice.
forgive you this time. Next time I'll put a bullet between your eyes. Hey.
Hey.
Trying to keep
Hey.
your cover, I mean.
So the road turns into like drawbridge, sort of, right? Over the swamps. You see, continuing along. For some of you, familiar sight was the Round Tavern, which is now burned and left mostly caved in. You see, standing outside of it, a very tall humanoid, looks to be elvish, in King Hasatan's like robes, not like his, the same colors. He's sort of like standing outside, kicking at the rubble and laughing as he turns around and walks towards the guard's tower. Other than that, you see people out here that are working, most of them looking very dirty. This is a mine town as well. Excuse me. And so they're covered in coal and soot. But if there's not anything you all need, then you're free to continue.
Keep going.
Exiting Fawcett, there is one more night or half a week of rest. So, who wants to take the first watch? Chuck? Can I get a perception check, please?
That's gonna be a 9.
Go on.
Paper commercial.
This is just YouTube music. Like,
Yeah.
the two of you have a really intense conversation and you're distracted the entire night. Why don't you share that with us?
You know, I'm just completely distracted by my book.
Okay.
Hey, little one, short dude, little short midget. Do you hear me talking to you?
What do you need, young one?
Just for Charles' attention. How does that look? Huh? You like what you see, little guy? I think he likes it very much, Chuck. Oh, nice.
I'm gonna turn around completely.
Make a religion check with disadvantage. Yeah.
Eight.
Rip. The reading you do tonight is not as elaborate. It's the kind of reading I talked about before. You like read a page, you're like, wait, how did I just read? You go back and read it again. The only real new information that you get isn't really new information, but that Hunginsek had to be asked 6 times before he agreed to get on the council. Who wants to take the second watch? Rauva? And Vulcan. Can I get a perception check from each of you? I'm gonna find some.
Oh, fuck me!
Dirty 20.
All right.
Nice.
What was yours?
14.
Okay. So the second hour of watch, or second several hours of watch, there isn't really anything like of note other than being now out of the swamp and into the colder, well, not colder but coldish region because you're getting close to a mountaintop. There are a lot more creatures out here in these woods. You swear you see a couple of bear run by. An owl bear gets close to your campsite and then decides to turn away from it off of some noise off in the woods. That eerie feeling is back the entire time you're watching. But nothing seems to come of it. Any conversation you all wish to have?
Why'd you come up to me in that tavern?
You look like an interesting individual.
Is that it? Still trying to figure out if you guys have ulterior motives.
We don't.
Okay.
You feel inclined to trust me.
You do feel inclined to trust her.
If we did, we probably would have, like, you know, scrapped you or something by now.
I think I could take all y'all, so I'm not too worried about it, but
I think you could. There's a lot of squishy people.
I'm made of metal, so well.
What
Some intimate music going on.
get your paper? Or I haven't seen any.
What's that one city called?
The Clifton.
Clifton, yeah. Well, I knew a tinkerman in Clifton that helped me out when I retired from my previous work. I needed a change of pace, and that required a change of look. And he helped me with that. I think red and black's cool, so
There's no meaning behind it.
it's cool.
It is pretty cool. I like the beanie.
That's the meaning. Yeah, I mean, the beanie's cool. Well, I've been perfecting the art of reloading with bullets in my beanie
That's very impressive.
for years. So, honestly, wouldn't wear it other than that. You know, I don't get cold or anything. Special oil for the cold. Keeps me limber.
Why do you wear pants?
I think it looks cool.
They do look pretty cool.
Oh.
I like the tattered look.
Cover my cowbear hips.
White the hips.
That's what the Tinkerman used to
It's
call
a
it.
retractable member.
I do have 3 legs. I think it's for the best. I don't wear pants at all.
Even in the bedroom.
Especially in the you wear pants.
I don't wear pants.
She doesn't. She has a dress
I
on.
have a dress on.
Did I have a dress on? Would you wear pants?
Maybe.
Why?
Because my legs would get cold. And plus, I don't want to
I'm there.
show my leg.
What's your backstory? I feel like I can trust you a lot for some reason.
Yeah, you can.
I haven't quite figured that out yet.
Are you indifferent to magic, or?
I'm from Texas.
Not again.
No!
He keeps hitting me with Texas, and I keep having to put new places in my map.
US.
The most magic thing I've ever seen was one man. He pulled out this little. It looked like a pastry, and he just put it in the microtic wave, and he pulled it out. He called it a hot pocket. And of course, I couldn't eat it, but it was hilarious. Believe in magic.
Oh. You bastard!
Pocket.
when the players take over your homebrew world, like,
I know.
I'm literally watching like all that shit burn in my head.
That was good.
The delicacy in
You
some
know,
countries.
one day, if somehow I gain the ability to taste, that's the first thing I want. Hot pocket in my home in Texas.
He wants a tongue instead of a heart.
Appreciate that.
Also
That's my dialogue for the night.
Pockets.
Who wants the third watch?
Yeah, y'all too. Or
All three of us can go if you want.
yeah, that's all. That's all.
I mean, technically, you don't have to sleep. So if you want to stay out, you can.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna lay down.
You're just.
Everyone who's a part of this watch can make a perception check. But that's actively watching, so if you
Yeah,
want
I'm
to
just chilling.
I got a 5.
16. Anyone?
sleep.
If we've been rolling ass perception checks.
It's another mostly smooth, eventless evening. You watch as is Estella still a cat? Okay. Estella and Hawthorne sort of run out of it to the forest, not far close enough to watch, and they play a little bit. Estella's not into it, but is letting it happen. Hawthorne has no clue what's going on as always. Hawthorne just looks for cabbage nonstop. He doesn't find any, but he does come back with a probably poison ivy in his mouth,
Oh, fuck.
which he consumes completely and smiles at you. That's the biggest thing to perceive. Estella is a black cat, and Hawthorne is a jackalope.
Bring her over. I'm gonna change her.
Okay.
Because now I can't. It'll only take 10 minutes.
So, you set out and you change her back into her large owl form.
Or not 10 minutes.
Yeah, now it's 2 minutes, I believe. With these new features.
Oh my god.
Called Mage Stolen. And now, why don't you describe what Estella looks like once more?
So Estella, her original form, I guess, she's a like very large white, like barnyard animal owl. She has purple, and she has purple eyes, and she has a really long tail that when she sits on my shoulder, her tail, like drags her across the ground.
Walk out.
Yeah.
So, to describe anything about Hawthorne?
He's like this big. He's like the size of a potato.
A large potato.
That's
His antlers that are coming out of his head look like branches, and they have little white flowers that are magical on them.
His face looks like Chester's. Yeah.
Absolutely
Human.
terrifying. Anytime he looks at you, it's with completely dead eyes.
Yeah, but his eyes also look human.
Yeah.
Any conversation you all wish to have?
I'm kind of just sitting on the ground with my eyes closed.
Okay.
Like thinking, I guess.
Okay.
interesting. I still feel that eerie.
Yeah.
So, how was your last
And
one?
actually, at this point, all of you feel watched.
You feel like?
I got the creepy feeling.
I feel
I've been feeling this since we left the tavern, or whenever we first got there. It's been off and on, but I felt it this whole time.
I'm gonna grab my amulet and cast Detect Magic on these guys.
Because I could with my ritual.
Well, go ahead and make a perception check.
15.
Yeah, right now you see an orb that is trained in on you.
Okay.
An orb that is trained in on you. And an orb that is trained in on you. The one that is trained in on Rauva, and the one that is trained in on Yrlakk. As soon as you cast a spell, they both vanish. The one that's trained on you does not.
Is it just like right there?
It's like right in front of you.
We're being watched. There's an orb right there. Looking at
I'm
me.
gonna cast it too, just because I can.
There
You
were
can say.
there were 2 orbs on YouTube, but it went away. But it went away immediately. Did I get the colors of the orbs?
What was your perception check?
15.
No.
Can I see what color the orb that is watching me right now?
That one is pretty clear, kind of illusory.
Illusory.
Is it the same one that I? Like, yeah, it's the same one that I saw on you back in Forbidden.
But this time it doesn't care that we know it's there.
Because the last time I caught it, it tried to get away as soon as it could.
It's uncomfortable. Hey, whoever you are, could you not watch us? You creep?
What's going on over there?
Being watched.
Pull out my revolver and shoot into the night.
I thought you were all woken up by a gunshot.
And be like, oh, sorry, y'all asleep. I didn't mean to wake. I just thought maybe I could scare away what it. Apologies.
You're gonna
What's going on? And the bullet goes flying up like over his head who's laying down.
Just Loki trying to kill me.
A little bit.
Hard dick.
Why are a narc?
You're gonna get an
smell
bear on
bacon.
this.
Why are you shooting?
Someone's watching us. So I'm making.
It's watching us where? Who? How? Why?
Oh, my eyes of the Lord.
They never train away.
Anyway, y'all can go back to bed. I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
Anything else y'all wish to talk about?
I want to try to speak to it in Abyssal,
Okay.
Oh shit.
and probably nothing will happen.
What are you gonna say?
Why are you watching?
It doesn't have the ability to respond.
I didn't think so.
I think it calls for a quick prayer. I'm gonna get on my knees and pray.
What are you saying?
Mama, do you know who's watching us? Is it you? Is it creepy people? Can you give me a sign?
Or are you praying to the grand?
Well,
Who's the grand?
That's her god.
I
Well,
want to.
roll a D100.
90.
You hear nothing, but both of you watch for a second as the orb sort of like shivers, and when it does, there's a slight hue of purple for a second.
I think that might have been Anna. I don't know. I don't think so.
That purple is not one of her colors.
Yeah, because purple's not part of the colors. Do you might have a god that could be watching this, or?
I guess I'll try to contact her.
Oh,
It's gonna be hard. This is gonna be awkward. I guess I'll try.
What do you say?
You should ask. I could,
Get in there.
Dr. Vulcan wants a piece of it.
Say, sorry for contacting you again, like at an awkward hour, but I have a question.
Make a religion check.
But 15. I didn't know any information was that.
Yeah? What is it?
There's an here that I see. I just don't know. It's in kind of an illusory orb that's been watching one of my friends, and it glimmered to a purple shade. I don't know if you know any meanings that resonate with the purple.
I promise you there's not a deity scrying on you. I can see you now and I don't need to do that. Sorry for the tone, it's just weird still.
I know. Do you see the orb?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I don't really think it's my place to jump through. Someone else's eyes, it might be gross, they might be naked.
But they've been watching her for a while.
Ask her.
She doesn't either.
Are you sure?
No, she doesn't. Unless she's happy.
Everybody lies, dude.
Hey, Rauva, you talking yourself up?
Yeah, you guys don't hear her at all, of course.
Yeah. Second.
Alright, I can wait.
Oh no, I was looking at them.
Oh. Have you seen Shafari since we last? Oh, alright.
I've seen her once.
And how was that?
She was disguised as a giant mind flayer and wanted to eat my brain.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a lot. Don't get any closer to her, maybe.
I haven't. She's just.
Yeah, but I mean in general, just stay away.
I do. She found. I don't know how she found us.
I'm not used to being a god, so I don't want to be commanding, but don't get close to her. I don't know, I just have a feeling.
Friend had mentioned that there was an orb watching me as well.
Well, it wasn't me, jeez, like I said, I don't need to do it.
Yeah. Do you think it might have been her? But then again, she doesn't need to, like what he said.
Right, but she might want to instill a bit of fear.
Yeah. I've been having this eerie feeling that someone's been watching me for a while.
That happens with a bad scry. It happens with a bad scry.
Yeah, you feel eerie, scared?
When somebody's not quite fulfilled the... When they got very close to you, to not getting through your brain to see you, you might feel it a bit more. So it's worth saying if you felt it, it probably wasn't Atlas or any decent mage.
But we do have Atlan's nephew, so I don't know if he would be scrying as well.
Well, as a nephew.
Yes. Do you see him? And I'm gonna walk over to him.
I mean, yeah.
It's him.
Right.
You just don't see anything else.
Yeah, she just like looks at you and looks away and says like words that are not making sense.
I'm just like,
Right, so no clue who's crying. Talk to your friends. If it was a scry that was bad, it could be that they meant to be bad too, so could have been Atlas, I suppose. Anyways, I'm going to go back. My cookies are about to burn, so...
I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. It's just weird talking to someone. I'm not a god, but I guess I am. Stay safe. Prepare to travel north before long. She dies.
No! Not her cookies.
You made her burn the cookies. So, anything else you all wish to talk about with that?
Are you sure you don't know of anyone that would be spying on you?
Well, who No, it was, I mean,
You make an insight check.
You can. You can make a wisdom save.
it's just a wisdom save?
Yep.
Ah, but. 19.
19! Fuck!
In a contest, the DC is beaten when it's matched. You can message her whatever she might incline from a successful insight check.
Do you know of anyone that would be scrying on you?
I know lots of people. It's like, none of them are here. And
Do you think your uncle might be scrying? Have you spoken to your uncle?
recently, I haven't. And he has also not tried to contact me.
Is there any way you can contact him and maybe ask?
There's not. He could most likely contact me if he wanted to, but I.
Well, shit.
But if of all people, he could possibly be.
Yeah.
But my uncle is one of the hardest people to read for me, so it's very hard for me to tell.
Yeah, if Byron told me that eerie feeling that you get is when possibly a bad scry. Like they tried to reach in but just couldn't. And so it leaves that feeling.
Yes, I've had the same feeling since we left the town.
So I'm not sure if individually people are trying to scry into what we know, but just couldn't.
I mean, do you know any other magic users that might have a reason to, aside from, you know, Atlan?
I mean, Atlas wouldn't. I
Really?
mean, he can contact me, you know, pull up the cup.
Yeah, and also it wouldn't make any sense if it was just on me. So.
Yeah.
So, about this time, everybody else should be waking up after being rudely awoken about 20 minutes ago by a gunshot. Farron stands and, well, we're only about an hour from the mouth of the cave, so should we finish this up? He kicks you. Get up, old man.
5 more minutes.
He grabs Charles and next to you.
Shoot next.
Okay.
Just a gunshot.
That might be my favorite alarm clock.
Why would you do that?
Wake up.
But.
Wakey, wakey.
Okay,
Are
who's
you
got,
awake?
do you got potatoes?
Or an hour from the city, let's go.
Oh, yay!
Breakfast there.
Okay, and hugs Charles as he's
Farron
just waiting.
stands and walks over towards small, like there's a small stream not far from where you guys are camped up. And he takes his hat off and sets it on the ground and runs his hands into the water, slicks his hair back, and ties it up into a bun. Grabs the hat and like kind of washes his face a bit. He takes out a razor and cleans off the little bit of stubble he has grown. He takes off the chaps. He changes into a pair of slacks instead of the jeans. Then walks back over to the cart and sets what he's removed onto the cart. Right then. Everyone ready?
Are you ready?
Absolutely not. And he jumps up onto his horse and sets his hat into like his saddlebag. And he takes off. Everyone following? So, for the last leg of this travel, it's about, like I said, about an hour of journeying. The forest continues, but eventually opens up a bit into a large plain. And across this plain, you can see the foot of the mountain. So there's this mountain region here called the Burgast region. You guys are right here at the end of that region. You watch as, while the mountain climbs, there's a clear cutout into the side, a bit jagged, and a tunnel trailing in. He stops. Everyone, welcome to Dzanth. Here we go. As you all ride in, Can I get a perception check? You don't need to make one.
Oh.
Jesus.
This is really just a point of perception, so don't worry if you made a low roll.
18.
Natural one.
Oh.
14.
15.
3.
Oh.
Why don't you go ahead and throw one?
And what?
A perception.
There one?
Make a perception check.
Oh. 17.
You increase the party's general
So
perception.
21.
Yeah. So everyone perceives things with a high enough party perception. At first, it's very dark going into this tunnel, into this cave, and it immediately gets like 15 degrees colder. So those of you that can feel temperature might want to put a coat on or a light jacket or something. Those of you that can't, feel rock hard as always.
I lived where it's always snowing, so.
So continuing along a bit, the first things you see are farms that are lit by this like it looks like purple light, but it's illuminating white. You can see these purple lights all throughout, and the city itself. Think like I don't know the only way to describe it. It's like an entire city, but like Atlantis sized, and it's inside of this mountain. There are running like walkways made out of stone and carved out. There are houses up on like high pedestals and low pedestals in the cement. It is really beautiful, just very same color. It's all stone. There are a few houses, and then you see at one point one house with a small farm. You recognize as your home. And across the street, you see an old man. Looks kind of scraggly. He's got long hair. He's plump. He's a bigger dude. One metallic arm and one metallic red eye. Who looks up and nods. Who you recognize to be Ulfric. You watch as he sucks his hand into his body and pulls out just like a sign that says hello. Riding along a bit, Farron turns. Large building up ahead. That's the castle. As you all walk, you can hear, those of you that have high enough perception individually, hear people coming outside and murmuring things like, is that Farron? Is that the prince? Things like that. You hear, like, it's been 10 years. And then you watch, as you get deeper, more and more people come out. By the time you get to the actual center of the city, it's like you guys are in a parade marching through. You recognize a lot of people. Most of your old friends. You see Allie and Doug sitting off to one side together, and they look confused and point at you, and then like look at each other. The rest of you see all varieties of people. There are kobolds here. There are Yrlakk that live down here. There are mini drow. A lot of I can't say the word. So dark gnome, deep gnomes. Dyrr, which are dark dwarves. It's a wide assortment. And then you watch as you approach this large purple castle. The doors open, and an older-looking dwarf comes out. Drow comes out with very purple skin, sort of like salt and peppered dreadlocks that come back and hang down his back. They're into a ponytail. He has a gold chain. He wears these black robes that have some purple highlights and yellow on them. And he comes out and looks at you all and smiles. He looks very old and worn. At which point Farron stops not far and hops off, and I assume Rauva does the same. You all can park the cart, and as you walk up, hello there. Welcome to Design. And that's what we'll pick up next week. So, thank you all for joining us. We hope you enjoyed this as much as we have. We hope you join us again next week when we venture back into our Bastion. Thanks.